Hi, I'm Cheryl Cook of Small Biz Big Results, and I'm so glad you joined me. I was so hoping I wouldn't have to bear my soul alone, so I'm so glad that you've joined me. You see, I've made some mistakes, and as much as I hate to admit that, I really like helping women entrepreneurs grow and manage remarkable organizations. And one way I can do that is by helping you avoid the same mistakes I've made. So I promised I'd bare my soul if you'd promise to show up. So thanks. You know what I noticed about myself and the business owners I worked with was we were all very good at working very hard. I had to-do lists so long, I'd begun naming them volume one, volume two. I didn't know how to say no, so consequently my plate was heaped with to-dos and I was trying my best to accomplish everything. Remember, I'm a recovering perfectionist. Can't just isn't part of my vocabulary. I tried getting up earlier and staying up later so I could accomplish everything. When that didn't seem to do it, I got up even earlier. Even to my sleep-deprived mind, it became obvious if I kept this up for long, my getting up earlier and staying up later were going to meet somewhere. I came across a quote by Henry David Thoreau. It is not enough to be busy, so are the ants. The question is, what are we busy about? That's a quote I keep on my desk, and it is constantly a reminder to me. So while I can't honestly say these are the only mistakes I've made, I'm going to share the 7 mistakes that women entrepreneurs make that keep them on the hamster wheel, running faster and faster. So grab a pen and paper and get ready to take some notes. The number one mistake that I made was no direction. May say that you know what your goals are, and I did this too, but have you ever written them down? If they're not written, they don't exist, and you don't know where you are going. So, I found myself doing all the same things, wanting different results. And, I think a number of people have been attributed with this quote, but I always think of Einstein at least, who said that doing the same things, expecting different results is a definition of insanity. And you and I probably, and a lot of other business owners could be categorized as insane when it comes to some of that. Um, and if I only have a mental picture of what I want, like I'd say I'd want more time, or maybe I want more clients, or more cash. We all probably want those things. But what is more? How much is more? Is one more free minute more? Is that what we want? Probably not. One more dollar, is that what we want? That's probably not what we meant when we said we wanted more. But how much is more? And if we don't have any plan to get there, it's usually because we don't know where there is. We won't know when we have achieved that. And Paula Eder, the time finder, she has said that you can never arrive until you know where you are going. Imagine how confused your GPS would be if you gave it no destination, but yet you wanted to see there in the corner of it what time it is you're going to arrive at your destination. That's what we often want with our goals, but we really haven't written down a goal. We want to know when we're going to achieve success, but we haven't actually determined where it is there is. And when we have some specific results we want to achieve, it gives us something to aim for. So what I figured out was I had to get really clear on where it was I was going. What does it look like? What does it feel like? How will I know when I get there? You've got to tell your internal GPS where it is you want to go. And no, this doesn't mean you could keep your goal in your head. You have to write your goals down and keep them in front of you. So number 2 mistake is multitasking. Yes, I know we women are so very good at multitasking. In the kitchen, I can be doing all sorts of things, like using my elbow to close a cabinet, or even stuck my foot out behind me to close cabinets while I'm getting something else with another hand. And I can do all kinds of things. Talk on the phone while I'm cooking pasta, or nodding to my husband, or pointing at something that needs to be done. I can do all those things in the kitchen. But in our business, it's a little different. We think about all the things that we want to do. Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, yeah, maybe I should be doing that. Oh, what about this? And we get so many things going on in our business that, really multitasking is a misnomer in terms of our business. We think multitasking equals multiplied results. Not, it doesn't. When you have so many things that you want to do in your business, you're not really invested in any one of those. You're not invested in anyone succeeding. It's kind of like dove hunting. Yeah, okay, so maybe I've never been dove hunting, but I've seen it on TV, right? I know what it is. But it's, they use a shotgun when they go dove hunting. They're not really aiming at one, they're aiming at a whole group of them, hoping to get a few to fall to the ground. And in your business, when you got so many balls in the air, it's kind of like a duck trying to swim upstream. You're paddling furiously beneath the surface, trying to keep all the balls in the air, but you're making very little progress, or maybe no progress. Maybe the current's carrying you back the other way. And if you have so many things that you want to do, you're just not devoting your full attention to any one thing. So they're just getting half-assed focused and same kind of results. So what I found was I had to put down that shotgun. It's kind of heavy anyway, so you don't really want to carry around a shotgun with you. You want to quit trying to hit every target out there. You want to pick up a laser gun. They're a lot lighter, easier to carry around, and you can be very selective. You want to actually focus only on your top 3 goals. Mistake number 3 is I found that I had no next steps. I had lots of ideas with visions of the finished products, but what should I do next? I just didn't know where I was going next. And part of that was I was, by trying to implement so many things at one time, I was paralyzed. I was afraid I'd make the wrong choice or do the wrong thing next. I spent my time moving paper around, reordering my to-do list, or putting pretty labels on file folders, thinking that will give me some clarity. But I found that I was stuck on a hamster wheel, just going around and around, and I wasn't reaching any of my goals. I was busy, but I wasn't productive, like so are the ants. The ants are busy. So what I found that I had to do was to write down just one thing that I could do to move forward on my top 3 goals. Not on everything. That doesn't mean writing down that whole to-do list again. It means just what was one thing you could do to move forward on those top 3 goals. And the other thing is I had to block time in my calendar. It could be just for 15 minutes so that maybe I could do some quick research. So that was maybe the next step on one of those top 3 goals. Or maybe blocking out 2 hours in my calendar was the thing that really would make the difference. So looking at my calendar and really being focused for a specific amount of time. Mistake number 4 was I was doing the wrong things. I was spending my time reading email or answering the same questions from clients or maybe from staff, and I answered those over and over and over again. I often ask clients what their top priorities are, and you might do this, think about what your top priorities are. Then I ask them how much time is spent on each of those priorities in any given week. And you know what? There's often that mismatch between what you said were your priorities and how much time you're devoting to them. That's what I asked myself. And I might also have spent time redoing someone else's work because, of course, I'm that recovering perfectionist. And other people just don't do it the same way I do it. Doesn't mean that it's the wrong thing, obviously. But all those activities I was doing, reading my email, giving instructions to people over and over again, weren't getting me any closer to any of my goals. And when I redid someone else's work, it's often not the how that is important, but it's the result that you get from doing something. So it doesn't matter how they arrived at it, it's the end result. So the first thing I had to do was become aware of the things that I needed to stop doing. And I'd suggest to you to write a couple of things down that you need to stop doing. We often know exactly what those things should be. So take a minute and think about what are some things you really should stop doing. And what I encourage you to do is 3 things. Delegate, delete, or demote. So you either delegate it to someone, you either stop doing it altogether because it doesn't make any difference. Maybe it didn't need to be done after all. And if you don't have someone that you can delegate it to, at least demote it. And by that I mean stop doing it for 1 hour, maybe 3 times a week. That's going to give you a new perspective on whether this actually needs to be done or not. So, whew, that was fast 4 mistakes. But did any of those first 4 mistakes sound like ones that you've made? And if you're like me, you've got to be tired. Tired of working so very hard. Tired of the hamster wheel. I'd like you to take that first step off the hamster wheel. I'd like you to give one of these 4 solutions a chance to make a difference in your life. Whether it's, getting clear on where you're going, or it could be focusing on only one of those 3 goals, or maybe it's taking just one step, the next step toward your big goal, or maybe it's stop doing something, delegate it, delete it, or demote it. Now, if you're like me, you might be an overachiever and try to do everything at once. I want you, though, to exercise your new muscle of choice. Choose one solution to focus on. And when you're ready, come on back and I'll tell you the last 3 mistakes women entrepreneurs make that keep them on the hamster wheel, running faster and faster. See you soon.